emails that trick you into disclosing your bank details, pop-ups loaded with malware, social media messages aimed at sparking fake romances. Cyber cheats are everywhere, and cyber thieves can use the internet as a tool to rip off unsuspecting victims. The Times of India spoke to politician Nigat Abbas, who was once a victim, and to a cyber expert to explain how scams work and how to avoid them.
The recent scam is obviously not so recent. It happened in 2019 with me. So to be honest, when it started, it was obviously I have a Twitter account and I had like good space in it, good followers in it, and lots of people used to message me. So there was this guy, there was this Twitter handle named by Tausif Ahmed, claiming to be Tausif Ahmed. He messaged me on Twitter saying that he's an alumni from Harvard University, and Harvard University is planning to organize an event on which they would need panelists who can come and speak about it. And since I had a good political profile and I had like good followers and I was actively participating on all these social issues on social media and everywhere, he said that they selected me on the social media platform and they want me to be at the Harvard University in the January 2020. And he contacted me, I think in November end or maybe December starting 2019. So I was like pretty excited because obviously when you hear the name of Harvard University and people from there would call you, so that's like something very good for your career, and that's really something which will give you height in your career.
I think overall, when you talk about security threats on the internet, we should look at both internet and all the mobile apps. Okay, both of them together, because a lot of online services are consumed also from mobile apps and on the internet. So some of the biggest challenges that we are facing is fake content and fake news. That is one big threat we are seeing. Second, when you look at children and women, there is a lot of abuse of internet in terms of trolling or cyberbullying. These are some of the threats that we are facing. There's a lot of dark side of internet where all the web technologies are used for a lot of proliferation of illicit content, right? There's a lot of sexually explicit material, including child pornography, that gets disseminated or distributed using these kind of platforms.
He gave me his number, and which he claimed that the WhatsApp number was from Dubai. And when I verified, it was from Dubai. And he said that he's traveling to Dubai, which is why he's using that WhatsApp number right now. So I said, okay, which is fine. So we started talking, and he kind of asked me a few questions that what would I like, my interest and all everything. So he said, I'm going to book like flight tickets for you, business class. I said, okay. So I just wanted to tell him, because it was for the first time that somebody of that kind approached me. So I said, book 1+1 ticket for me, because somebody from my team would be accompanying me. So he said, okay. He was pretty much fine. Well, he showed no suspicion about it, and he's like, okay, I'm okay with it. I'm going to book the tickets and all of that. I said, okay. So then he started sending me from an email ID, and that was a Gmail email ID that was naming from harvard.edu and all of that, and then @gmail.com and blah, blah, blah. So he messaged me. He sent me that I'm going to send you the agreement that you have to sign and you have to send it back to me. I said, okay. So he sent me the agreement, and he said, once you send me the agreement, I'm going to make you talk to the dean of the Harvard University. I said, okay. So when he sent me those prints and those forms and those details and those agreements, I should tell you that they were so legitimate. I mean, they looked so legit that there was no doubt for me or anybody else or my family who could doubt on that. There was no scene of doubt. It was so legit. It looked so legit, so professionally done, so professionally looked. It had the proper logo of Harvard University, and it was like, yes, it's actually happening. After some time, like 3-4 days later, he started telling me that I'd need your Aadhaar details and I'd need your passport details in order to book the flight tickets. So obviously, I'm not that I'm not a fool. I know that for booking flight tickets, you neither need a Aadhaar card nor do you need a passport. You just book the flight tickets. So he said, no, we would need it because we would have to furnish the documents in the university. I said, okay, in that case, send me a proper formal email from the Harvard University's email ID. So he said, okay, my mail is not working. My assistant is going to send it. I said, okay. So he didn't send. Again, to just gain my trust, what he did, he booked a room in my name in the Four Seasons in Boston. Yes, in Boston. He booked a room. So what I did in order to verify, obviously, because I was already suspicious when he started to dig out my information. Like he was kind of forcing me to send my passport details and Aadhaar details to him, which I was very suspicious. So I did not. So in order to gain my trust, what he did, he booked a hotel room for me. So I also verified. I called the hotel. I called the Boston Four Seasons, and I asked that if they have a room like booked in my name. So they said, yes, ma'am, it's already booked. And it was actually that he already booked the room. And I said, is it paid? I mean, have the person already paid, the person who booked it, or the payment is yet to made? So the staff said that the payment has not been made, but the credentials of credit card has been put. And once you check in into the hotel, we'll pull the amount from the details which has been logged in. I said, okay.
We in India or worldwide, we need to do a lot more in overall digital literacy and awareness around online safety, privacy, right? Basic security practices. There are a lot that needs to be done first on user awareness. Because a lot of users were coming online for the first time, they may not be taking that necessary care in terms of how do you stay safe, right? Whatever you follow in terms of safety practices in the physical world, that comes naturally or intuitively to you, right? But online safety, I think we take a lot for granted. So one is, how do we as industry, stakeholders, government, civil society, increase the awareness of staying safe online in terms of not sharing unnecessary sensitive personal information online, right? Or just accepting friend requests of people whom you don't know on social media platforms.
I felt suspicious. My family and me, we felt a little suspicious. And then from the Harvard University's official website, we took out the number of a staff from the executive, and we took out the email address, and we called and we emailed that girl. I'm missing the name of that girl, but I can tell you later. But I messaged her, I emailed her, and I called her. And that's when she told us that there's nothing of this sort we're organizing in January 2020. If you're organizing, we'd let you know, and we'd call you from official phone numbers of Harvard University and we'll mail you from official IDs. So that's when I got to know that this guy was just trying to fool, and there was something he wanted from me which he couldn't.
The internet can be wonderful for kids. They can use it to research school reports, communicate with teachers and other kids, and play interactive games. But online access also comes with risks like inappropriate content, cyberbullying, and online predators.
Here, I would say there should be a lot more ownership from the technology service providers who are targeting children with their services. There is a lot more that needs to be done. And the awareness, again, I would bring back to the awareness of parents and teachers and whoever is guiding the children in terms of staying safe, because they are also using mobile phones, a lot of online games, and some of them, tend to create harm, right? We have seen those examples. And when a child is going online, there must be some supervised way in which the child is onboarded onto these online platforms and mobile apps. Because I think initially, once I think the child is grown up enough and has had that exposure when they're in mid school or high school, I think they take a lot more care. But as now, when you see a lot of education is happening online, almost all schools have gone virtual in the last 2 years, even in India.
Mobile apps are often the cause of unintentional data leakage. Apps pose a real problem for mobile users who grant them broad permissions but don't always check security. The internet can provide a safe virtual environment for exploring some newfound freedom, provided all necessary precautions are taken.